His rise is the result of understanding where power moved as traditional media lost its grip. While television networks, record labels, and studios struggled to hold younger audiences, a new economy formed online, one driven by personality, immediacy, and participation. Ross recognized this shift early and positioned himself inside it before the rules were fully written. What followed was not a straight line to success, but a volatile climb shaped by risk, attention, and strategic adaptation. Born in Florida in 2000, Adin Ross grew up during the internet's transition from entertainment to infrastructure. As a teenager, he spent long hours streaming to small audiences, often with little feedback and no financial reward. These early streams were not glamorous, but they were instructive. Ross learned how long viewers stayed, what energy kept them engaged, and how quickly attention disappeared when momentum stalled. More importantly, he learned how to speak continuously, react instinctively, and treat the live stream not as a performance, but as a shared space. His earliest traction came through NBA 2K, where personality mattered more than gameplay. Ross understood that viewers were not watching for technical mastery. They were watching for reaction, emotion, and presence. He exaggerated his responses, engaged directly with chat, and allowed moments to unfold naturally. Over time, this approach built familiarity. Viewers returned not for the game, but for the environment Ross created. The audience grew steadily, built on repetition and consistency rather than sudden virality. The turning point arrived when Ross's online presence intersected with mainstream celebrity. His connection to Bronny James and subsequent interactions involving LeBron James reframed him overnight. Ross moved from being a niche streamer to a recognizable figure operating at the intersection of internet culture and public celebrity. This exposure expanded his audience and altered how his platform was perceived. He was no longer simply broadcasting content. He was hosting moments that felt unscripted and exclusive. As his reach expanded, Ross adjusted his format. Streams became less structured and more open-ended. Conversations replaced controllers. Appearances by musicians, influencers, and internet personalities became frequent. These sessions were not interviews in the traditional sense. There were no prepared questions or promotional agendas. The appeal was the lack of structure. Viewers tuned in because anything could happen, and often did. This unpredictability became Ross's defining feature. His streams felt less like shows and more like live environments viewers wanted to inhabit. That sense of immediacy created loyalty, and loyalty translated into consistent viewership. Financially, the results followed quickly. Subscriptions, donations, and advertising revenue grew at a pace few creators his age had experienced. Ross was earning at a level that rivaled established entertainers, without the backing of traditional institutions. Despite this success, Ross never treated his platform as permanent. He understood that digital power is conditional. Platforms change rules. Algorithms shift priorities. Creators who rely too heavily on a single system become vulnerable. Ross continued pushing boundaries, operating at the edge of what platforms allowed. This approach attracted criticism, controversy, and attention in equal measure. When Twitch eventually banned Adin Ross, many interpreted it as a collapse. Instead, it became a pivot. Ross had already built something larger than a single platform. His audience followed him because of him, not because of where he streamed. The ban exposed a core truth of the modern media economy. Distribution matters less than influence. Ross's move to Kick marked a structural shift in his career. He transitioned from being a participant within a platform to a strategic asset capable of reshaping one. His presence brought traffic, legitimacy, and visibility. Streaming stopped being about content alone and became about leverage. Ross was no longer dependent on subscriptions or ad splits as his primary source of income. His value was tied to his ability to attract attention at scale. This shift transformed volatility into an advantage. Where unpredictability once threatened platform relationships, it now strengthened negotiating power. Ross could move platforms, dictate terms, and operate with greater autonomy. His income became diversified, tied to contracts, promotions, and partnerships rather than a single revenue stream. With increased visibility came increased consequences. Ross experienced repeated swatting incidents, with armed police appearing at his home during live broadcasts. These moments highlighted the real-world risks of digital fame. Streaming collapsed the boundary between public and private life. Security became a necessity. Location became a liability. Wealth provided protection, but it also underscored the cost of constant exposure. Behind the scenes, Ross continued expanding his business interests. He invested in promotions, merchandise, live events, and collaborative ventures that extended beyond daily streaming. These moves reflected an understanding that attention must be converted into assets before it fades. Algorithms fluctuate, platforms rise and fall, infrastructure lasts longer. Culturally, Adin Ross occupies a complex space. He is unpolished, unpredictable, and resistant to traditional media norms. Yet his influence rivals networks that took decades to build. His streams generate engagement comparable to major live broadcasts. For younger audiences, he feels accessible and immediate in ways traditional celebrities often do not. He speaks directly, reacts in real time, and allows imperfections to remain visible. This authenticity, however, is not without criticism. Ross has faced backlash for controversial guests, impulsive behavior, and unpredictable content. These moments generate debate and scrutiny, but they also reinforce visibility. Ross understands a fundamental rule of the attention economy. Being discussed matters more than being agreed with. Relevance sustains leverage. Psychologically, the weight of constant visibility has followed Ross throughout his rise. Streaming for hours, sometimes days, blurred the line between performance and existence. Every reaction was recorded, every misstep archived. Ross has acknowledged burnout, paranoia, and the strain of perpetual observation. These pressures forced periods of recalibration, but never complete withdrawal. What separates Ross from creators who burn out is adaptability. He does not cling to a single identity or format. When gaming slowed, he pivoted to conversation-driven content. When one platform closed doors, he moved to another. When attention fragmented, he escalated moments. Each shift reinforced a central strategy: avoid stagnation at all costs. Today, Adin Ross represents a case study in modern media leverage. Not ownership of platforms, but ownership of audience movement. His wealth is not defined solely by net worth, but by independence. He can relocate his influence, renegotiate terms, and rebuild distribution without starting over. That freedom is the asset most creators never reach. Adin Ross did not become wealthy by avoiding mistakes. He became wealthy by surviving them, monetizing them, and learning faster than the systems around him. His career demonstrates that in the modern media economy, relevance drives power, attention drives opportunity, and adaptability determines longevity. In a landscape once controlled by institutions, Ross built leverage through presence. In an economy shaped by algorithms, he learned how to outpace them. His story is not about perfection. It is about understanding how power moves and moving with it.